Hi, we're group number two. My name is Brianna.
I'm Candela.
And I'm SD.
And this is our presentation on the mindfulness activity titled The Mountain from Mindful Volcano to Calm Lake.
All right, so we want to share a bit about the therapeutic purpose of this activity. So this is an activity that's designed to help children externalize their big emotions and then learn to self-regulate by transitioning to a state of calm. We want them to learn to identify the physical sensations that are associated with strong emotions. It could be tense muscles, fast breathing, elevated heart rate, sweating, and we're going to show them that by using gross motor movement, big movements, they can release the pent-up energy. And then through practicing somatic techniques like deep breathing and humming, they can down-regulate their central nervous system to enter into that place of the calm lake. This is an activity that also helps them to understand the mind-body connection in a real felt way. And this is an intervention that's based on an idea that emotions are not just in the head, but are felt physically. And so by moving the body intentionally, children can process and release those emotions and return to the activities that they really want to be a part of. So this is an activity that's applicable in all kinds of settings. It's an intervention for caregivers to use in real time. Parents, grandparents, teachers, and therapists, and kids themselves can learn it and teach it to one another. Children ages 4 to 9 probably are going to be most open to this type of playful exploration. And while a large open space would be ideal, we can do this in the quiet corner of a classroom or in other places as well. A yoga mat or a blanket would be a wonderful tool to facilitate the calm lake part of the activity, and some kind of soothing object. It could really just be anything that helps them focus. A stone, a feather, a bit of fabric, a stuffy that they like.
Now I will briefly walk you through the activity that we will demonstrate at the end of the presentation. And so as you have heard here, the activity had two main parts. First, the volcano phase that involves more physical activity, as SD was saying. So we'll invite the children or the child to become a rumbling volcano using stomping and shaking to build up the energy. So, and this will culminate in a safe eruption of movement and sound, allowing for healthy release of all those intense emotions. And then we'll slowly cool down and get smaller, wrapping ourselves up like a cooling lava. So all of these leads us to the calm lake phase. That is the second phase of this activity. Here we'll guide the child or the children, in case that is a group, to lay down and become a calm and still lake. We'll introduce a simple belly breath exercise, imagining their stomach is a balloon filling up with air on the inhale and releasing on the exhale. We'll also incorporate a soft humming sound on the exhale, which is a powerful way to engage the vagus nerve and promote feeling and deep calm. So now I would like to talk a little bit about the theoretical foundations that we thought for this activity. So at the heart of our activity is a simple but powerful idea, as SD was saying. The mind and the body are deeply connected. Our theoretical framework is rooted in somatic psychology and the polyvagal theory. In somatic psychology, recognizes that emotions aren't just thoughts. they are felt physically in our bodies. Think about a time you were angry, for example. Maybe your jaw tightened or your shoulders tense. Think about this connection, and we will invite with this activity to do that. So this activity provides a safe outlet for children or the child to physically express those big, overwhelming feelings. The volcano phase, with its stomping and shaking, allows the kids to release that pent-up energy and tension in a contained way. And this process is supported by the polyvagal theory. This theory helps us understand our autonomic nervous system. When we feel overwhelmed or threatened, our body goes into a fight or flight mode, activating the sympathetic nervous system. So our activities in the volcano phase taps into this system. But after the eruption, we transition to the calm lake phase, which helps activate the ventral vagal complex. So that part of our nervous system responsible for feelings of calm, safety, and social connections. So then the deepened breathing and humming will helps to stimulate the vagus nerves, which acts like a brake for our nervous system. So we are not just telling with this activity to the children to calm down, we're just helping them physically to shift their nervous system state. And then we were talking about the movement mirroring. So it's important for the facilitator in this case to be doing the activity with the child or the children, because mirroring is a very powerful component in the attachment theory and co-regulation as well. Some limitations that we found, even though, we think that this is better if we do it in one-on-one or with a small group. So that would be a limitation. Then trust and safety. The child or the children must feel safe and comfortable enough with the caregiver, the teacher, or the therapist that is doing the activity to be fully engaged in all of the activity. And then the activity may need to be adapted for different developmental levels. So it could be that the language and instructions might be too abstract for a 4-year-old, but easily understood by a 9-year-old, for example. So those are a few limitations that we thought for the activity, that the activity may have. And now I'm going to pass it over to Brianna. Oh, we have some resources here for you to check out. But I'm going to pass it to Brianna that will lead the demonstration.
Hi, so I'm going to demonstrate what this might look like in a real world setting. Like we said, this is ideal for one-on-one work with one child. However, working with kids, anything can happen. So if there are more than one child around, it's a good idea to go over maybe acknowledgements and comfortability with the yelling and the movement, because it could get intense depending on the age of the kids. And yeah, we want to make sure that they have enough space to express their emotions in a good way. So starting the exercise, I encourage you guys to imagine that you're a volcano glowing in the dark night sky. And all those pent up emotions and feelings are the volcanic lava. So now imagine the lava is stirring up inside you, getting ready to erupt. Maybe you feel it rumbling in your stomach or tingling in the tips of your fingers and toes. or maybe it's even in your throat. I encourage you guys to stretch your bodies. You guys can make volcanic rumbling sounds. If you guys want to stomp your feet to get ready for your eruption, just get ready to release all of the lava and all those big emotions in whatever way feels right. That could be kicking, screaming, jumping, spinning, yelling. So now, on the count of three, get ready to erupt. One, super big breath. Two, three. Okay, now you guys may be feeling a little bit tired after getting all that out. If you want to do one last couple punches, go ahead. So now, you guys, I want you guys to imagine yourselves becoming smaller and smaller now. You can give your bodies a hug if that's what it needs. Let yourself shrink back down into a lava rock. If you guys feel comfortable, you can lay on your back. You can imagine all of the anger and lava and emotions have turned into a soothing and cold river that can carry you guys into feeling more at peace. So now imagine how the cold water might feel on your body. Imagine if there's nature sounds around you, the smell of flowers or trees. Is there a cold breeze that you're feeling? Maybe there's fish swimming beneath you. Whatever is going to make you feel the most at peace. Now, I want you guys to place your hands on your bellies. If you have your comfort item, you can hold that in your hand or place that somewhere on your body that feels safe. And I want you to imagine that there's a balloon that lives in your stomach. I want you to take a really deep breath and imagine the balloon expanding. Feel your hands rise with your diaphragm as you inhale. You can feel your comfort object rising as well, or just hold it close if that brings you peace. Maybe we can hum and make sounds while we exhale. So feel the vibrations in your mouth or your body. We're going to take we're going to take 3 really big balloon breaths as we float down this river. One. Okay, keep on breathing. Now, as we get to the end of the river, we're beginning to slow down, and the river is leading to somewhere calm and comfortable, somewhere that we feel safe. Now, if you want to stay laying down, if that feels best for you, that's okay. Or I invite you to sit up and stretch your bodies just like we did in the very beginning of this activity. And I want us to reflect on how we're feeling after this exercise. Let's notice if our bodies are feeling more relaxed than they did at the beginning, or if we're feeling any leftover tension, we can name that and talk about what that's feeling like. Or if you want to just sit quietly as you come back into your bodies, that's totally okay too. Take as much time as you need. So how do you guys feel after that activity?
I didn't know I was that pent up.
Yeah. Do you feel like the volcano activity and releasing all of that kind of show you how much you were holding in your body?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I could use some more volcano, I think, a little bit for like
Do we
a
want to do
little longer volcano.
do we want to do another volcano?
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, okay. No worries.
too. I definitely feel calmer, but also like grounded. I really needed, like, I was so in my head. I've been so in my head during the entire like day today. So like being in my body really helped me to feel grounded, and like the humming too really helped.
Mhm.
Yeah, very.
Exercise. Yeah, even as a facilitator of this, it can be really helpful and it can let you be playful with kids because that's a big part of working with them. I feel like even
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much I needed to take a deep breath after this last week
Mhm.
and this day. So, yeah, I feel like even
Yeah.
as a facilitator, you can find ways that this can be beneficial to you as well.
Yeah, it seems like that's such an important part, that, we're doing it with them so that we would be showing them that we believe in it too, and it works for us. I think that's such a nice part of the mirroring. It's great.
Yeah. And you can adjust the language and the simplicity of language depending on the age group.
Mhm.
So, for
Totally.
some, maybe the symbolism might be kind of confusing, so you can adapt that in whatever way feels fit to that group or that individual person. And it's really nice. You could just take them outside really quick or into the corner of a room, like we mentioned. It doesn't need to be a whole ordeal. It can just be a quick and like easy way to ground and recenter.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I really like the opportunity to do it, like the possibilities. Like I was sitting down now and I could still like keep moving my body, or that it doesn't requires verbal language all the time, like just for the
Yeah.
facilitator, but then for the participants, it doesn't. So
Yeah.
that's helpful too.
Yeah, I feel like it's really good for different levels of neurodivergence, even because, like you said, the lack of you don't need to have a verbal discussion about what's going on. You don't need to name what you're feeling. You can just kind of let it out and release whatever you're holding in your body and then come back in.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's also a really beneficial part of this is that for neurodivergent children, it can be implemented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's so great.
yeah. Well, I
Thanks,
think,
Brianna.
yeah, thank you guys for participating. I think that's the end of our demonstration.